Welcome back to a Clear and Obvious podcast, and we are continuing our review of Euro '96. We've got to the knockouts, England versus Spain, and as always, I'm joined by Sam in what is a very fluorescent shirt, I must add.
Yeah, no, I thought I'd whip on a Spanish kit to show my support for the goalkeeper who played for Spain, who pulled out a top performance in this game, who plays for Valencia.
Oh right, Zubizarreta, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, but you're English, right, Sam?
yeah,
And you were supporting England,
yeah.
and you're wearing a Spanish club shirt.
Oh, I'm just showing a bit of respect.
Well, showing respect, because now it looks like I'm representing England. You're representing Spain from this
All
capacity.
right, I don't have an England shirt.
Well, you don't have to have an England shirt. Just like, I'd be draped in a St George's flag or something. I don't know. I'm not sure that would be very relevant. But anyway, I rate the attire in every other regard other than if we were reviewing England versus Spain, which we are. I don't think I mentioned. But yeah, England versus Spain, quarterfinals, 0-0 after normal time and golden goal. And we won on penalties. Doesn't happen very often, but we did. And yeah, no, it was a strange game, wasn't it? It was one of the weirder games of football I've probably seen in my lifetime. Do you want to run us through the England lineup at least?
Yeah, so England made one change from the team that played Netherlands. Yeah, that was the last game because of the suspension to Paul Ince. David Platt came in. We switched to a 4-4-2 instead of a 4-1-2-1-2 with Platt and Gascoigne playing as two central midfielders. And that was like the main change to the lineup.
Yeah, no, the rest of the lineup stayed the same. And Platt coming in, he didn't. This is right at the end of his career. Let's bear that in mind. And he's coming off an injury, so coming into this is his first start in the tournament. So yeah, no, that was the only real difference to the England setup at least. And so the game kicked off, and Shearer actually had probably the first major chance of the game. Ball went through on his left foot, and it was saved wide by Zubizarreta. And from there, you're looking because we started fairly bright in the first few minutes at least, and then it went a little bit downhill for the rest of the first half, didn't it?
Yeah, England kind of started quite brightly, but then Spain just kind of took over, and yeah, we couldn't really deal with them in that first half. They kept coming forward. They looked the better side. Seaman made some good saves, kind of made some like crucial saves that kept us in the game, and that kind of was a theme throughout all the 120 minutes.
Yeah, we'll call it that. That's what it is. So
yeah.
Well, and that's excluding penalties, of course. So it's more minutes, but we don't include minutes for penalties, do we?
No.
Yeah, no. This whole tournament, Seaman's been amazing, and he's probably been the best keeper at this tournament because we've been watching quite a few of the other games, and I mean the only one that really stood out for me, especially in England's group, was Van der Sar. But he has his fair share of mistakes when he just sort of parries the ball instead of catches it. But genuinely, at this tournament, he's just really like arrived on the world stage, I'd say. But yeah, no, Gazza was dispossessed in midfield early on, and that was sort of a thing throughout the game because he couldn't really get a foothold in it, especially in the first half. And yeah, no, Adams had a header, one of our few chances. It was tipped over fairly comfortably by the Spain keeper. But yeah, overall, we got away with murder in that first half, really, didn't we? I mean, it's a bit dodgy looking back on it.
Yeah, I mean, we got exposed in midfield. I think it's fair to say they kept just cutting through us. Some good defensive pieces from the likes of Pearce and Southgate was decent, but yeah, they could have really been 2-0 up by half time minimum.
Yeah, no, they definitely could have. It was we definitely looked dodgy. We struggled to get a foothold in the game, and no, they had one goal disallowed in the first half for offside. And looking back on it, that was rightfully so. But I'd say, for Spain, the two players that stuck out for me, at least in the first half, were the guy that Brian Moore kept calling Little Sergi, on the left hand side. He was pretty good in the first half at least, and Hierro CDM. I thought he played very well. But yeah, no, I think the key moment of that first half really was when Manuring got through on goal. But Seaman sort of came miles out and that was able to sort of tackle him. He just got in just in time, and that was massive. I mean, Spain were all over us in that first half. Gaza and Platt were getting overrun. It was a shaky start, I'd say. We were very lucky to not be losing.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was a crucial tackle, and probably, yeah, we shouldn't have been we shouldn't have been drawing at half time, and that was a theme for quite a lot of the game. To be fair, I mean, England came into it a bit like in extra time, but first half and a lot of the second half, Spain were on top.
Yeah, no, completely. It was we were very, very lucky. We just got completely obliterated in that first half. We got battered 0-0, as the saying goes, and we somehow hung on. And second half we came out a bit brighter. Annoyingly, Neville came in and clattered Sergi and got a yellow card, and from then on the little Sergi was booed for pretty much the rest of the game, which I thought was a bit unfair because all he did really was get tackled quite badly, and that was it. Did seem a little bit harsh. It did give me some sort of flashbacks to Ramsey being booed by Stoke fans for having his ankle broken. It's sort of that's the kind of vibes I was getting from the England fans there. But yeah, it was. I thought Neville's been brilliant in this tournament so far, and for him to then go on and miss that Germany game is crucial for England. It's a massive loss, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a massive loss because not only is Neville great going forward, he's great cross of the ball. We're also gonna miss that. He's underrated defensively. I think he's made a number of crucial tackles and interceptions like, throughout the tournament, and has been one of the underrated players in the England team that has like done so well.
Yeah, no, he was brilliant. Likely, I don't know exactly what the lineup will be, but my guess would be he could be replaced by his brother for the semi-final. Would be the guess. But no, Spain half time. They came at half time. They brought on Alfonso up top, and he proved to be a trickier customer than who they had up there before. Then there was the Stonewall penalty, and he was brought down by Gaza in the box. And they give a dive and they book Alfonso. Like how Gaza comes in, just wipes his legs out, no intent to play the ball, doesn't get anywhere near the ball, just completely cleans him out. They give a dive. I mean, what's that all about?
I mean, poor refereeing was the just throughout this game really. And I don't understand. Honestly, I have no idea how he hasn't given a penalty here. He's nowhere near the ball. Like, just no idea. England got away with that.
We massively did. I can see your Spanish passion coming out there, Sam. Yeah. Oh, I can imagine you're very angry as a fellow Spaniard. But yeah, no, it was a terrible piece of refereeing, and then to add insult to injury, just to book him for diving, I was literally sat there just laughing. Like, how is he given this? And that just added really to England's good fortune and luck, basically going up to that point. We didn't really create an awful lot, but thankfully we did. We started to go forwards. That was almost like a wake up call. And yeah, no, we got forwards fairly well. The big chance that stands out for me, at least in those sort of first 55 minutes, hour or so, was a chance that sort of the ball looped over to Sheringham, and he just kind of misses the ball. It wasn't amazing, was it?
I mean, Sheringham misses a sitter a game. I mean, every game no, it's true.
In this
He's missed a
tournament, yeah,
huge.
you can't say throughout his career.
Oh no, definitely not. But throughout this tournament, every single game he's missed a huge chance, which would have probably put England into the lead.
Yeah,
But to be fair, it was quite a hard chance. It was looping, but should have scored it.
massively. And yeah, no, this early period of the second half, this sort of early to mid period of the second half, England are dominating. One part though did make me laugh. I love the confusion given when there's a back pass. It's an indirect free kick, and I think Gaza might have taken the single worst indirect free kick I've ever seen, because he sort of had it down by the goal line, and it's almost like he's going to lay it off to Piers to clip it in, because obviously it's indirect. But he doesn't, and he tries to cut it back to the edge of the box, instantly intercepted and puts Spain through on goal. Like, we have an indirect free kick from their goal line, and suddenly Spain are through on goal. Thankfully, I think it was an Adams tackle that managed to stop him going through on goal. But that was just that was pretty funny. Another point that stood out for me was Darren Anderton. He had a decent chance. Ball sort of came across to him, first time volley, flashed across goal. Probably should have taken a touch and tried to get a better shot off, but hey ho, it was a chance for Darren Anderton. And then there was the Shearer miss. That was pretty terrible, wasn't it, Sam?
Yeah, it was probably the first good bit of play that Gaza did throughout this game. He he whipped in a ball for Shearer on a plate for him, really. Just had to keep it down, and he didn't. He had an open goal, and he volleyed it over the bar. A player of his quality has to be scoring that, and that goal would have probably set England up for a win. It was reasonably late in the game, and Venables would have just definitely brought on like 3 defenders and just parked the bus.
Yeah,
And just that would seen us through.
Earlier.
Exactly, that would seen us through to the next round, but unfortunately not. And he should have scored it, really.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where he just couldn't get over it. But he should have scored, as you say. Gaza does a brilliant bit of play. And you look at it as well, and he's not to know this, but if he gets 0 contact on it, Sheringham's there for a chance that even he in this tournament literally can't miss. Like, there is 0 chance he is missing that cross that comes through. And if it misses Shearer, there's no way he can't score, which is pretty unfortunate, but he wasn't to know, as I say. But I thought overall, despite not scoring, I think Shearer actually played very well. I think he had... It's weird because he's scored so many goals in this tournament, but I genuinely think this was his best game.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. He bullied his defenders throughout the game. He constantly looked like a threat. He held the ball up well. He linked play, and if he had if he had a player next to him that was having maybe a better game, because I don't think Sheringham was at his best. He was all right. Like, don't get me wrong, he wasn't like terrible. But if he had maybe a player that was making more runs in behind, I think that we could have done a lot better and possibly scored, because Shearer worked so hard and was very good throughout this game.
Yeah, no, he was brilliant. He was running and ragged. He sort of led from the front, and he was amazing in this game. Someone else, again, who just throughout this tournament has been outstanding for England is McManaman. Because going forwards, we talk about his end product quite a lot, and I think it was his most noticeable today, his end product being not at its best, perhaps, but the fact he was, again, that spark that we have going forwards that really gets the crowd riled up, gives us some pace going forwards, and he genuinely he carried us going forward in this game. I mean, we drew 0-0, so that's not saying an awful lot. But he was outstanding. I'd certainly say he ran them ragged, if I'm honest.
Yeah, his just the way he drives at defenders, the way he takes people on, and just gets the byline, gets across, and he's always going to be a threat. He has shown that throughout the tournament. He's probably our most dangerous player in terms of his pace, his dribbling. He lacks a bit of end product sometimes, but just incredible threat. And I'd say for most teams, I think they pinpoint him as England's most dangerous player. Like, you've got Shearer in terms of he's a natural goal scorer, is very strong, but McManaman, trying to stop him is like trying to stop a train. When he gets going, you just can't stop him.
Completely. No, he was outstanding, as he has been this whole tournament. And yeah, no, he certainly caused Spain some problems. No one really caused Spain problems in the first half massively, but second half, definitely, he was part of England's dynamic threat going forwards. And he was given, the commentators mentioned that he was given more of a free role, which was obvious, but it was similar to that role that he was given at Liverpool, where he's just allowed by Julio, where he's just allowed to have that free role, and he's basically just allowed to create in whatever part of the pitch that he wants. Doesn't have to track back massively, and he didn't really need to be honest with you. But yeah, no. Going into the end of the second half, Spain then begin to come back into the game. They have a few minor chances, I'd say. The one that really stuck out for me was, I think the ball was sort of being played down by the touchline, and it's just about to be cut back, and I think it's Southgate that comes in and makes an unbelievable tackle. He was brilliant this game as well. He definitely deserves a mention. Him and Adams at the back basically assured that it was going to stay 0-0 alongside the refs and the ultimate luck that we had. He was going to assure that this stayed 0-0. It was, yeah, he was brilliant. The Spain player that stood out for me in normal time, at least, we won't talk about his penalty as much, or we will, but was Fernando Hierro. Is sitting on that midfield, he controlled the game for them. He was brilliant. He dictated the play, dictated the tempo, and allowed Sergi and Alfonso to really get forwards, and Kiko as well. He allowed them to be that outlet because he was able to just sort of sit in there and dictate the play.
Yeah, he was top class. Herrero. I'm not gonna lie, going into this game and looking at the lineup, he's the only one I'd actually ever heard of. He was brilliant. I'd only known him as a central defender. I thought he only played centre back. So to see him playing midfield and just be so good, so assured on the ball, it was just a brilliant performance. He didn't deserve to be on the losing team, really. He missed his penalty, which was unlucky, hitting the bar, as we're going to talk about later. But he just played so well throughout the game, and yeah, unlucky to be on the losing side.
Massively. He was class. As you say, he's the only player that I genuinely recognise in that Spain team. Again, this is because we weren't born at the time. Don't roast us. I recognised him mainly from his icon card. I won't even lie. I just did. I knew of him prior to that, but I mainly knew that he was a centre half because of his icon card, which is probably why I was surprised he was playing CDM. I'm going to be brutally honest with you. That's probably why. 90 minutes, 0-0. God knows how. Absolutely no idea. But we get into the first international tournament to have golden goal. And this is the first game of the Euros to have golden goal in it. And it's a weird one, isn't it? I can't say I'm its biggest fan. What are your thoughts on the infamous golden goal?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, like, for one team. Like, if there's a goal, but there were no goals. So, but it's always unfortunate because the team that scores first isn't always the better team. Like, it should be a reflection. They should give them a certain amount of time. I don't feel like they should just be like, oh yeah, first goals wins. It sounds like a bit tacky, and it sounds like lads down the park like, oh yeah, first goal wins. Whee! It's just like, I'm not a huge fan. I think extra time's definitely better than golden goal.
Yeah, it is. It is sort of like the rule makers got a little bit lazy and just went, next goal wins, and as you say, it's like it's when you're down the park. But no, it was. It makes it more of a cagey affair. It's proven to be very dramatic. Trezeguet, I think it was 98 World Cup, scored from it, won France the World Cup. So it can have its dramatic moments, but it was in its infancy at this point, certainly, and it didn't really improve with time. And overall, I wasn't a massive fan of it. But yeah, no, they started off the golden goal extra time with Nadal. He played brilliantly. Rafa's uncle, which I only found out about 5 minutes before recording this podcast. Yeah, no, Rafael Nadal, a great tennis player, and his uncle, an even better footballer. Well, obviously a better footballer than his niece. What is it? What relation is Rafa Nadal to this Nadal?
No idea.
Okay, cool. We'll move on then. It's either nephew or niece. I can't remember what way around they are. Someone can let us know in the comments. That'd be great.
Nephew, I think.
Yeah.
I think niece is a girl.
It could well be.
I think nephew.
All right. Well, I look forward to getting roasted in the comments. It gives Josh another reason to roast me, so that's good. But yeah, no, it's Nadal. He got stretchered off, which I found quite funny. because he got hit in the balls. Darren Anderson just drilled one at him from like point blank. Honestly, he tried to get up and then just crippled back to the floor, and then straight onto the stretcher. He came straight back on, absolute trooper. But that was pretty funny. I won't lie.
That that was so funny. I mean, I thought they were preparing a sub. I'm not going to lie. I saw him stretch it off, and I've never seen anyone get stretched it off and then just come running back on. And I'm like, his game's over. I mean, he's not going to have any kids anymore. I mean, his life is over. I mean, but then he comes running back on and plays the rest of the game, which is mad.
Absolute warrior. No, hats off to him. He was brilliant. He played very well. I was going to say that's his highlight of the game, but he actually had a good game, so I can't. But no, he played brilliantly at the back as well. Also, another point I wanted to make in this golden goal, because nothing really happened, because they're always really cagey affairs and nothing really goes on in them. But we'll ramble on about it for long enough, I'm sure. Because they had obviously Stuart Pearce was starting, and he was going up against Kiko for Spain quite a lot. There was one point where they kind of got into it, a bit of argy-bargy at one point, and Kiko just sort of like nods his head towards him. I don't think Kiko knows who Stuart Pearce is. Does he know that his nickname is the Psycho?
I mean, obviously not. He's an idiot if he thinks he can mess with Stuart Pearce. I mean, Stuart Pearce would have probably picked him up and lobbed him halfway across the stadium. Oh my goodness, he's an idiot if he thinks that. He can mess with it. Pearce was just laughing.
Yeah,
Pearce was just having a joke because he was like, "Who does he think he is?"
It was almost like Kiko instantly realised who he was picking on after he kind of feigned a headbutt towards him. He was like, "Oh no, that's Stuart Pearce. I'm done. Nah, you're all right." I'd reckon he fully pulled out of that. He didn't want any of it. But yeah, first half of this extra time golden goal bonanza, we'll call it. The only chance of note that I can think of was Gaza. He had a shot from just by the edge, just in front of the edge of the box, just inside the box. Sort of keeper just parries it over. That was the first England chance in that golden goal period. It was a first real opportunity to get anywhere near it. But yeah, no, second half brought a little bit more life, but I mean, not massively. It was still pretty cagey, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was cagey. I mean, Spain attacked England quite a lot. Some really valiant defending by England, putting their bodies on the line, just flying tackles everywhere. And but yeah, it was still very cagey and no clear cut chances, I would say.
No, it was certainly a cagey first half, and then second half. The one challenge there was a few challenges that stood out to me. The first one was Stuart Pearce. He did a sort of a slide tackle in the edge of the box and then sort of clips it away. It was like a weird little double tackle on Alfonso. Did very well. And then the thing that bemused me, right, about the second half of this golden goal thing was the triple substitution that Terry Venables decides to make. Because if you're coming to the end-ish of a game, especially when it's extra time or golden goal, you've got one eye at least, normally both, on penalties. And so why? Okay, so he brings up. I'll run you through who he brings on and off. So he brings off Darren Anderton for Robbie Fowler, Steve McManaman for Nick Barmby, and Teddy Sheringham for Steve Stone. I mean, obviously, we didn't go into those exact positions, but that's who was brought on and off. And Steve Stone coming on is he's the most uninspired footballer I've probably ever seen play football. I bet he was probably very good, but he's just boring. His name sounds boring as well. Like, it's just everything about him is just dull. So he's probably a lovely bloke, but he's just a dull footballer, a workman. That's what they call dull footballers. They work hard. That's their only compliment they can give them. But no, he did work hard, so I'll give him that. But it didn't really seem like he had a massive eye on penalties, bringing off Sheringham. Because he brought on Barmby and Fowler as well. But bringing off T. Sheringham, it seemed like a bizarre one as well. And all three substitutions in one disrupts the flow of the game, disrupts your chemistry and everything about that. And it takes a little while for those subs to get involved with the game. And I'm like, what were your thoughts on it? Because I've sort of had a little Steve Stone-based rant there. But
I thought it was interesting. I think Terry Venables is just thinking, let's just nick it at the end and just try and get a goal before penalties. And if it goes to penalties, well, we've got some decent penalties that I haven't bought off. Because to be fair, he's left on Shearer, he's left on Gaza, he's left on Stuart Pearce. his restaurant who scored. Just listing everybody scored. He brought on
Uh,
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 David Platt. I mean,
there we go.
just quality penalty takers. I mean, and I'm sure Robbie Fowler would have scored one.
He
Steve
was, like,
Stone.
he was only 20 though, wasn't he, Robbie Fowler?
Yeah, oh well, it doesn't matter. Like, I can score a penalty. I'm like, what, 18?
Yeah, but put you in front of 76,000 people at Wembley in the quarterfinals of the Euros. That might be a little bit different to down Tunbridge Park.
No, you're not wrong. Yeah, no, fair point, fair point.
But yeah, no, he bought on those three. I've just sort of put a laughing emoji next to it in my notes just because I was just like, why? Like, it's Steve Stone. But yeah, he came on and he instantly got rinsed by Alfonso, I'm pretty sure it was. He got turned inside out by him. I think it was Neville who came across and tackled him. And it's just after he makes a triple substitution usefully that Gaza kind of gets injured and sort of starts hobbling around for the last 5 minutes. It was poetic, really, wasn't it? It was going to happen. But he sees it out. He just sort of sits at left wing for like 5 minutes and just tries and like not to die, basically. But then there was a slight penalty shout, which I don't think was a penalty. It was that's why I say a slight penalty shout, right? I want to make it seem like there's some sort of justice done for us not being given a penalty for something that definitely wasn't a penalty, because it was Steve Stone got tripped in the box. Wasn't much of a penalty shout because he didn't really get tripped and the bloke got the ball, but not really much there. He then instantly got rinsed by Alfonso again, which I found quite funny. He did a flip flap and made him fall over. That was my highlight of the whole of the golden goal, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I don't know. I think it was a blatant penalty. I'm complete opposite.
Really?
I don't think he won the ball. I think he has been just tripped in the box and
Sorry, mate. You cut out. You cut out there. Could you just like repeat your entire justification of why it was a penalty? I'm so sorry.
I think he's been tripped in the box, and I don't think he's won any of the ball. I think it's a stonewall penalty in my eyes.
I can't lie. Didn't see the replay, so you're probably right. I don't know. It just on first glance, it looked like the ball might have changed direction, but maybe on the replays I'm wrong, and I'm sure if you've seen them, you're probably right. So yeah, we could have got a penalty. So there we go. But Spain had a couple that weren't given, and to be honest, it would have been well harsh if we'd have been given that, and then Spain denied like 3 goals, which wasn't great. Also, I've just realised something. I've just missed out the biggest referee officiating mistake of the entire game. It was in the first half. I've just completely glossed over it. We'll go over it now, just as we've got to the end of golden goal. But it was in the first half, right? And God, who was it that was going through? I can't remember exactly. Oh no, that was it. Oh no, honestly, I can't remember. I'm going to start trying to remember. But it might be Kiko. Someone got played through. It sort of bobbled through to him, and it puts it in. But the line's got his flag up. This is the second goal that Spain have had disallowed for offside. Didn't fancy mentioning it. I don't really know why I didn't. But yeah, no, his replay showed that he was onside by about 3 yards, which isn't brilliant considering he's literally, I think it might be Adams who was playing him on, and he's running through and there's a solid gap like that big between them. And I don't know what the linesman was watching, but evidently he wasn't looking across the line because it was blatantly onside. But yeah, now we've glossed over that massively important detail that I completely forgot to talk about. Last minute of the second half of golden goal, Adams had a really good tackle in the last minute to deflect Alfonso's shot over the bar. And then that was really it for the whole of the game in a slightly jumbled order. That was the game. And we go on to the dreaded penalties. Sam, do you want to run us through penalties?
Shall I go through all of them? Shall I just be like?
Well, you don't have to describe how they took them. More just like, I mean, if you fancy it, go through it. You have creative license here. Go through it how you like.
All right. So it was England won the coin toss, and Shearer stepped up first to placed his penalty in the top left corner. Really good penalty. It was then Herrero, who was a key man for Spain, played really well. He took for Spain first, and he hit the bar with a very powerful effort, straight down the middle. Very unlucky. David Platt put England 2-0 up. With the longest run-up of all time, David Luiz's inspiration, before putting the penalty into the side netting on the right. Another brilliant penalty. We then got Amor, who just kind of basically started running, stops. Seaman was like, "What you doing?" And he just put it in the bottom left-hand corner, 2-1. Stuart Pearce making up for Italia 90. Made it 3-1, very exciting. Smashed it in the bottom right corner, leaving behind all those dreaded memories. It was then Belsu who made it 3-2, a side-footed effort which went straight down the middle. Very, very exciting as Seaman just jumps out of the way of it. Genius. Gaza then scored despite being injured, putting it in the bottom left corner. Nice pen, to be fair, bear in mind he was minutes from dying. And then Nadal had this penalty saved by Seaman, who's an English hero and a national treasure.
That was gold. That's getting clipped. That was beautiful. That run through of the penalties was like the highlight of any podcast we've ever done. That was beautiful. Yeah. No, I don't know where to go from that. We can't really get better with that. That was class. Yeah, we won a penalty. Sam summed it up perfectly. I feel positively inadequate now to sum up any other part of the penalties because yeah, no, they were good penalties, all of them, other than the ones that miss and a couple of the others. But yeah, no, it was England won penalties for the first time in a long time, probably, which is good. That was the last time actually we'd won a penalty shootout until the Colombia one in 2018. So we broke our duck. I don't know, but yeah, it was a good moment. Scenes of jubilation. Everyone jumping on each other. Everyone very, very happy. So who's your man of the match, including penalties, golden goal, first half, second half, obviously the whole shebang.
My man of the match has got to be the national treasure, as I mentioned at the end. It's David Seaman. Throughout the game, he kept us in it, and he's kept us in it throughout the tournament, to be quite honest, in a lot of games. He's not put a foot wrong, to be honest. He was brilliant, saved a penalty, which was a good read, and just best player on the pitch, in my opinion, just keeping us in every single game of the tournament. What about you?
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. I mean, I'm gonna go Stuart Pearce, but I agree with you. David Seaman was probably man of the match. I'm just gonna go Stuart Pearce, just because he's dispelled those demons of Italia 90, and it's almost like a kind of a hairs on the back of your neck moment when he finally scores that penalty and he gives that passionate like punch sort of thing. Kind of looks really angry, but he's actually happy. He's kind of a strange man. But yeah, no, 6 years on, and he's done the bits. Very good penalty. David Seaman's actually come out since and said he thought Stuart Pearce was looking at him, and he was actually bricking it. He was just stood there like, oh my god, he's really scary. But he wasn't. So no, it was very good. Stuart Pearce had a very good game. Made some crunching tackles. Was very good at the back actually, which he hasn't really been for the majority of the tournament. So I guess that's an improvement. But yeah, no, overall, he's probably second in man of the match to David Seaman. But I'll give him man of the match just because he seems like a scary man if I don't.
That is fair enough. Good justification.
Sound logic, I reckon. But that's assuming Stuart Pearce listens to this if he's one of the 3 people that do. But I don't think he does. But yeah, no. So that's basically our roundup of the quarterfinals. We go on to play Germany in the semi-finals, and that'll be disastrous. So I don't look forward to that at all. Actually, I would say I look forward to it, but I don't. I'd be lying. Yeah, what are your thoughts going into the Germany game, Sam? After a massively improved display against the Netherlands, giving us immense hope, and then a dreadful 90 minutes and 120 minutes against Spain, and we fraud our way through penalties. What are your thoughts going into the Germany game?
Well, my thoughts are that England's performance in this tournament is a bit overstated. We played well against the Netherlands, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And knowing that we lose against Germany is pretty sad. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry. We might lose against Germany on penalties. Who knows? But yeah,
Maybe,
I'm not
yeah,
too
sure.
I'm not too hopeful.
No, I've not got massive hope, especially if it goes to penalties. I don't like the look of that Gareth Southgate with penalties. I think he'll be dodgy when it comes to it from 12 yards. But anyway, that's us pretty much for the Spain game. We get through by the skin of our teeth, and then we go on and play the best team in the tournament. So that'll be fun. I look forward to watching that and then reviewing it with you and probably crying. So yeah, Sam, do you want to sign us off?
Sure. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you just listen to us. Keep up the support. We actually appreciative. The support recently has been top class. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. We've got some more content coming soon. And yeah, thanks for watching or listening.
Yep. Thank you for watching and listening. Goodbye.